People were at the heart of Stuart Hornery's business philosophy. He joined Lendlease as a site engineer in 1964, launching a career that would catapult him into the role of chief executive in 1978 at the age of 39. With Stuart at the helm, Lendlease became known as the company without limits. Total shareholder returns lifted by more than 20% a year, and Lendlease's market capitalisation rose from $100 million to $10 billion. Stuart demanded independent thinking. Dare to be different, he told those around him. He also demanded hard work. He believed in what he called a paradoxical business philosophy. Entrepreneurial on the one hand, but disciplined on the other. He cultivated a highly motivated team of people who came to work not because they had to, but because they wanted to.
The legacy that Stuart left was really to train and inspire a whole generation. The property industry now, in many respects, is a testament to his leadership and the development that he did of his people and of thinking in the organisation. So I would say, to a large extent, the Australian property industry is his legacy.
I think Lendlease has always been a company that's been very good at nurturing and promoting. Stuart left a very significant legacy in that respect as well. Lendlease has always understood at a very fundamental level the importance of nurturing, identifying and growing talent within a successful organisation.
Stuart's innovative ideas were underpinned by the belief that employees should share in the rewards they helped generate. It was no coincidence that at one stage, employees owned close to 20% of the company while Stuart was in charge. Stuart also created a network of organisations that echoed his belief that a society is only truly successful when it looks after everyone. In 1980, Stuart formed the ACTU-Lend Lease Foundation, a partnership with the unions that developed the group training scheme. By 2000, the scheme had 140 training companies employing 40,000 apprentices throughout Australia. He sat on the board of the federal government's Australian National Training Authority and chaired it for many years until his retirement in 2005, changing vocational education in the country.
I felt he was unflappable. Whenever you dealt with Stuart, he was calm, he was very considered, and incredibly intelligent, and I would also say very perceptive.
Stuart often cited the Blue Water Shopping Centre in Kent as the best example of how caring for people enhances investment returns. Stuart humanised the construction site. At Blue Water, the largest single project undertaken by Lendlease at the time, more than 400 construction workers were hired from the long-term unemployed roles. And nearly 8,500 people were trained under a model that continues to influence industry skills development today.
Really did redefine shopping centres in Europe. Not only that, it's been one of the best performing retail assets in the world ever since. And I think the hallmark of some of those projects really would be courage, the courage to try something new.
He retired as chairman of Lendlease in 2000. What he called his third life was emerging. With Lendlease's assistance, he founded the Hornery Institute, a not-for-profit that continues to work with communities to define bold solutions for urban life.
Stuart thought about cities in a different way. He had very long-range, big picture thinking capabilities, so he really was thinking about what was necessary for Sydney or for Melbourne or for Brisbane 10, 20, sometimes 50 years ahead. And he understood that every individual super project, like a Barangaroo or an ICC Sydney, had more than just a localised significance. It was about building the brand of the city, the productivity of the city, the international reputation, the pizzazz of the city. And that was how he encouraged us to think about every project that we approached.
Stuart championed values that we see today throughout the property and construction industry: fairness, equity, and a belief that places can give back to the community.
Dad was a deeply, deeply egalitarian man. I mean, he was very hard driving, as a leader, but he was also deeply empathetic, particularly for those in society that struggled.
He was committed to outcomes, and he served on every major skills body and vocational education and training body in Australia that I can think of. But when he retired, he actually built the Hornery Institute as part of his legacy. And I was proud to work with Stuart, indeed, in that context.
Stuart was not driven by awards or accolades. His life is best measured by the difference he made to people's lives through the places that he built. His physical legacy is the countless shopping centres and city infrastructure, the offices and apartments, public landmarks and private homes that were conceived by Stuart's team of rebels who deliver.
It was always about challenging, but you had to have output at the end, and I think that's shaped how people think about risk and conformity and breaking outside of the boundaries that have been set. So it was a very empowering phrase to use inside an organisation, that you could be a rebel if you wanted to, but just make sure you deliver.
But more important to him were the lives he changed, the people he empowered, and the minds he opened. Ladies and gentlemen, please join the Property Council of Australia in honouring Mr. Stuart Hornery AO, 2017 inductee to the Australian Property Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to Stuart Hornery's family and friends for this wonderful achievement and much deserved recognition.
He was an outstanding person, a person that we are the better for having known, and I would put it absolutely bluntly, Australia is the better for Stuart Hornery.
So can I say on behalf of my extended family just how incredibly proud we are to be sitting here as Dad gets inducted into the Property Council Hall of Fame, and also how proud we are, you know, that his legacy lives on, as evidenced by the people in the room this evening.